so 6 points yesterday. Only the 4th time this season they haven't won at home or something like that. And to be fair to Chelsea, if Chelsea had Elijah in attack, just Elijah, as is, the way he is, with no training, no nothing,
East African boy.
I think you'd have won that game.
Yeah,
For sure.
I think Chelsea would have won that game.
true. First half, the whole game was for Chelsea to win it. They were supposed to score at least 2 or 3 goals by the first half because, wow, the next boy to be dubbed Drogba. Hey. Come on.
The next Drogba.
The next Drogba.
It's not working.
Yes, it was not working. Even look at the chances that they created. Sterling was supposed to score at least 2 goals in the first half. Our supposed Drogba was supposed to score at least a goal in the first half. Then looking at how, I think in the second half, I think that's when City started to make their presence hard in the second period. And I think the subs by Chelsea, I think they were too early because they drove out the attacking prowess for Chelsea. Because I thought maybe Pochettino might have thought the game was over. Then when he subbed on the likes of Nkunku and the other guys, I thought it made Chelsea a bit less potent. Because after that, you could see City was still pressing.
And that's exactly what he did versus Arsenal.
Yes.
In the 2-2.
He's been poor in substitutions.
Chelsea looked so comfortable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he made subs.
Chalobah for Palmer.
Yeah,
But
it makes sense.
But I think from our side, I think we lost so many chances. I think it was one of the worst games by Haaland because KDB kept on trying to find him from whatever angle. The defenders tried to the ball towards where he was maybe making a run for, but the chances were still nowhere to be found. But kudos to Chelsea. The backline and how they were able to defend against it I think it was so good because you guys, Gallagher was man-marking Rodri. If you are keen on how the game was being played, Gallagher was on this man's case. He was everywhere with this guy. And when Pep made the sub for Alvarez, for Bernardo Silva, that's when things started to open up. Because you could see, as we've seen, when Pep starts Alvarez, KDB, Haaland, and Foden, I think things don't work out quite well because they have 2 natural strikers. I don't think it works quite well between how KDB can balance it out between the guys. But when he adds on Bernardo Silva, it's open up freely. But we lost 2 points.
I was actually going to ask you, was it 2 points lost or was it 1 gained? But you've lost. Starboy?
I'm smelling blood. And this team is here for the taking. City are not as domineering, as they were last season. They are not as strong as they were. If Chelsea can go to Etihad and get a point from Etihad, then what about somebody like, for example, like Arsenal?
They probably also could get a point.
We could get a point.
Yeah.
So I think yesterday we got a template on how to play against Man City. Your centre backs need to be on form on that day, and also your DM has to be really at it, making sure each and every ball that comes to the centre, he's there, trying to block, trying to tackle, trying to cut the passes in between, and of course your number 10 and your wingers have to really put in the shift. But my question is, Teddy. Yep. Right now, how many points? What's the difference between you and Liverpool?
It's 5 with 5. A game in hand. Yeah.
So with a game in hand.
Yes.
Which day you finish on Tuesday?
Yeah. So do you think you can go to Anfield and get maximum points?
The race is still on. That's
I'm just asking about that game.
Yes.
Okay.
I still think for this season, I think our best centre back has been Ake. Walker and Diaz haven't quite hit the ground running compared to last season. But I still think we are on to you guys. Next week we are going to get maximum points. So be sure we'll still be there till the end.
For sure. But my question was, Anfield, will you get maximum points?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, I agree with what Teddy has said. But something also I've noticed about City, I think this season, they're still defensively. They're just vulnerable. It's not working. I don't know what's happening in the defensive bit of it. I think they've conceded about, I think they only have 2 clean sheets in their last 14 games. So they're not as solid as they were last season. And even watching it yesterday, I think, as you've mentioned, coming to Liverpool, as long as Liverpool have pace, attacking pace, I think that defensive bit of Manchester City will struggle against that pace.
Of course, you're going to get
They will
goals in
struggle
that game.
against
And
that pace.
Let's go to Sammy.
Well, at least you're getting to the Chelsea side now. I thought that the plan for them was to disrupt first, of which we saw several moments where they had those kind of tackles, and I don't know what VR we have a say on that, but there were moments when either it's a full start on Doku, or whether it's a foul on KDB, several of them on Caicedo, but their plan was to stop.
We can agree. The reffing in that game was very 1998ish.
Yes.
It was let tackles fly.
Let it go.
And that's good. And that's good, actually.
Yeah, it was cool. So from a Chelsea standpoint, that worked in the first half. Them just reducing Manchester City to a stop-start kind of a game. And they had multiple opportunities. When you think about that Nicholas Jackson chance that he missed, I think it was the first touch that just took it away. Or
He missed maybe two clean things that Elijah can score.
Yes.
Like just
You know, when you say that, you're making me look bad, man. I'm not bad.
you're not a pro player. You play on the weekend, but come on. What is that you want?
It's a bit late on Jackson when he says that.
It was about just sorting his feet.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Sterling also had an opportunity that Ederson came on and collected it. What I love from Chelsea is that, of course, yes, the defense was good. Disasi
had a good game.
Yeah, and some time
I haven't
back,
called it
after the Wolves game, you had Pochettino complaining about them not having the hunger in them. And yesterday you could see Disasi even punching the air when he cleared things off. And that was a good sign for them. And also on the right-hand side where the goal even came from, Palma has been looking so good on that side, and Gusto too. And they created that opening goal. And after that, I think that Manchester City, they just went with the Pep Guardiola illustration of let's go. And they went for it. And for Chelsea to have gone back and say that we are now going to defend this one out, I think that's where it caught them. And it worked out that Chalobah, who came on to add extra bodies, was the man that deflected the goal in.
Just a moment, Wokabi. Do you know what? We've been running around nini kila kitu nini, but we are lacking one person, a Gundogan.
That's the guy who balances out things.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Now here's the thing. First of all, let me go. Chap said about again on paper, and I hate stats. Disclaimer number: I hate stats.
Yeah.
But you made me look. How many goals have City conceded this season? 26. The best defense in the league is Arsenal with 22.
Yeah.
So it's not really the worst in the world.
No, it's of course it's not.
It's not as bad as like when we say they've not had any clean sheet or 2 clean sheets. I don't know in how long. Then I look, I'm like they've only conceded 4 goals more than Arsenal, who are having an incredible season defensively. Declan Rice, I think, is the main reason for that.
Yes.
Then you look at how many goals have they scored. Well, they've scored 57. They are third. In the list of scoring goals. But they could sit there in their defense and say we didn't have KDB for 5 months and we didn't have Mr. Haaland for 77 days and get away with it. So maybe I wonder, given those reasons, whether there is something, whether those reasons matter in the bigger scheme of things. That's just me trying to think stats, which is stupid. I don't know anything about stats. So let me go back to what I which is speak with just what I see. Now, I might be the only person in this room who thinks City gained a point yesterday.
I think so too.
I think, so Sammy and I think City gained a point. I think if they drop the points, they need to be within striking distance. Like, they just need to be within. Once you drop, like I said, it's match day 24, 25. You don't want to start. You want to be within. You want to know it's one off.
Within reach.
It's one. Like there's something. So I feel like they gained a point. And yes, the ref let the game go a bit too much yesterday. I think Chelsea are lucky. I think it's a penalty.
It's a penalty.
The drag. I think it's a penalty.
The call will on the handball.
Yes, the handball and the dragging of the shirt. I think it's a penalty because
it's
doing
not an outright penalty.
He even directed his hand to.
That's why I'm saying I think. That's why we are saying I think. We are saying Elijah. We didn't say it. We are saying we think.
You said you think. He said it's a penalty.
I think it's a penalty.
Two different
I think it's a penalty. I think Chelsea got away with that one a bit. Chelsea did exactly what Chelsea do. This Chelsea team rises up versus the so-called big sides.
Teams,
and then, in fact, when Sammy was saying about the way they added up and the way they've played and the form, it made me scroll down. Again, sorry, and I looked. I said, so they beat Palace 3-1. They beat Villa 1-3. That was in FA Cup.
Yeah.
I think.
in the FA
In the
Cup,
Carabao Cup.
But
Oh
then-
yeah, FA Cup. Yeah, FA Cup. Yeah.
Something, yeah,
Yeah,
FA Cup.
FA
And
Cup.
then they contrived
Triple.
to lose 4-2 to Wolves at home. Okay?
Yes.
Before then, they lost 4-1 to Liverpool. Before then, they drew nearly. That was in the FA Cup. Then they beat the mighty Middlesbrough 6-1. And then they beat Fulham 1-0. And then they lost to Borough 1-0.
They're very inconsistent.
So they have a thing
Very
where if it's a
inconsistent.
big game, they
They turn up
find
for the
a way
big-
halfway. Disasi looks like Marcel Desailly. And then whoever they are playing, no, they're playing the Liverpool, the Carling Carabao Cup. The game after that, I
Yeah.
promise you, something is going to happen. Then, from a City side, City have had this funny result this season. Again, I was scrolling to see. They've had these odd results at home. Like where they drew 2-2 with who? With Palace.
Yeah, that was last year.
At home.
Before the trip to Saudi.
No, I'm just talking about this season. They drew at home 2-2. They drew at home 3-3 with Spurs.
Yes,
They
yes.
drew 1-1 with Liverpool at home. They have had funny results also at home. I don't know why. I don't know how to explain it.
In fact, to add on that, they have not beaten any team in the
They
top
beat-
four. They
yeah.
have not beaten Villa. They have not beaten Spurs. They have not beaten Arsenal. They have not beaten.
No,
Liverpool.
what do you mean the top four? They're in the top four.
They have not beaten
Any other team that is next to them in the top four?
Yeah.
Because they haven't beaten Liverpool, Arsenal, and Aston Villa.
Yeah.
I have an answer
Spurs.
for you that one. This goes many years ago when you guys were probably in primary school. There's a time United won the league without beating anyone in the top six. But what they did, from everyone
You
from
beat
number
the
7
other-
to
the
20,
other-
they,
Villa Roma.
I can't quite remember the season, but they had a weird start, like they beat everyone from number 9 to 20 home and away. So it's
And it makes sense.
at
As
times
long
you
as
can
it's
do
the
that.
points, it's
At
the
times you
points.
don't have to. You just have to figure out where you're gonna drop points. I can't remember the year.
Yeah.
Where you gonna drop points? Where you gonna win points? What can you do? So
Yeah.
I know. I know at times people say the best way to measure yourself. No, it's how you calculate. You think, okay, so how do I do? Yes,
but now,
yes,
unfortunately-
it's an interesting start. I'm not dismissing.
Yes, yes.
I'm just saying it's an interesting start.
For sure.
It's an interesting start. I looked at them yesterday and I wondered and we said that was it last week we spoke about Doku
On
and we
Doku,
said
yeah.
he seems to have gone off the boil quite a bit.
Yeah. Wasn't connecting to anyone. And he had most time with the ball.
But
Even the commentator mentioned it. I don't know how many times we've mentioned his name with no end product.
I still feel like they will be right there, and I told you guys this maybe a few weeks ago. I told you guys
Yeah.
this league will go all the way to the end. Everything looks too smooth. Was it
an
last
even-
week I said that?
Yeah.
Or last week, but when I said everyone
Yeah.
thinks, I said no. There will be drama.
But do you
Yeah.
think it will be closer?
There will be
compared to-
drama here. Yeah, there will be drama here. We will
Yeah.
say, let them win their game in hand, and they
Ah,
close
then
that
now
gap so that it's 2 points.
yeah.
So that it's 2 points between them and Liverpool, and then they are tied.
With
They're
us-
1 point ahead of Arsenal,
Arsenal.
Yeah.
and 2 points behind Liverpool with 13 games to go.
Yeah. You'll be fighting the mystique now.
Now
It's getting
That's what you're
interesting.
waiting
let it batch
That
up
is
like
what you're
this.
It
waiting
might come
for.
down to goal difference.
Let it batch up
It's
like
just-
that. We see how it's going to go because we want an exciting end to
Yeah.
the season.
Yeah.
That is
And
what
that's
you're waiting
the-
for.
Last season was all here, there going on.